I think that FlamE was 11th ranked in EU. Fairy Peak is 3rd. And then you got Monkey Mean 4, Khaled 5, also on 6, OSM 7, Rottweiler 8, Kanta and Alpha 9 and 10. And then FlamE is 11. So just outside the top 10 in Europe. Okay, FlamE is good, he says. Well, I hope that means that he's ready, because I'm going to start the match. Best of 5, Fairy Peak versus FlamE. £200 on the line. Late night 1v1. Coming in just a minute, boys.
Some bits for the prize pool.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Who are we kidding? These 250 bits are for Fairy Peak so he can buy a Pokemon card or something. Time for some cuxa.
Well, at least thanks for getting this out of the way at the start of the match, Gav.
Slow Spectre scripted match 3-0 Fairy
in rehearsal, in dress rehearsal, it said at the end there, but Brian ran out of characters, so he didn't read that one. FlamE is actually using these camera settings. I know not everybody who's watching this match will be familiar with FlamE, but he does play with this very, very close camera. So this is not a bug or anything. And even more exciting, perhaps, is that the camera bugs that we've been seeing in every 1v1 since Tournament Patch hit are supposed to be fixed. So hopefully this 1v1 will not be plagued with any camera glitches. Touch wood, we'll see. Strong start for FlamE. And if he wants to take down Fairy Peak, he needs to play this one pretty much perfectly. Fairy Peak's been taking down everybody on stream recently. And there you go. Speed wanted to know, how do you get the ball past FlamE's shadowing? Fairy Peak shows him how to do it on the first try. You take the ball in field, you force him to change his line of shadowing. You see that what Fairy did there. It's a small thing, but it is very smart to do against a shadowing player. Fairy Peak is so good at breaking down defenses. We saw some very interesting games the other day of Fairy versus Scrub, where Scrub is holding on for long periods of time against Fairy's defense, or offense I should say, but struggling to get to any significant number of boosts while doing so, which was a struggle for him. Thanks to the 441 for the prize pool, Das Baguette. You're calling this one in favour of FlamE, the Englishman, with a baguette in your name. Fairy Peak is going to be very annoyed about that one. The FlamE has got another goal, and it wasn't too difficult for him. Fairy Peak crossing over the field again. He's really is just showing Speed how to break down a shadowing defender. FlamE is hoping the shot is not going to be too powerful.
You're the best RL streamer, Johnny.
Cobeen Bryant, thanks to the tier 1 2 month in a row. Welcome back. Very much appreciated. I'm so impressed already with how Fairy Peak is tackling FlamE's shadowing. I don't know if these guys have matched up in the past in ranked. I don't know if they've matched up against each other in private matches 1v1. Don't know if Fairy Peak has even seen my 1v1 cast that I did of FlamE versus Speed, but if he did see that FlamE versus Speed series, he'll know that FlamE loves to shadow in defense, and that is why Fairy Peak is constantly switching the play right to left, because this doesn't allow FlamE to get into a comfortable shadowing position. He's constantly having to change sides. He's having to go left, right, and he doesn't know when the shot's going to come in, which direction the shot's going to go in. Watch back that FlamE versus Speed series. Speed was putting some pretty good flicks on net, but they were all so linear that FlamE was able to predict them all. 4-2 Fairy, that's a perfect shot off the kickoff. FlamE was almost able to save it, but the slight inefficiency was the problem there. He needed to, I think, not dodge actually. Not dodging would have been helpful at that near post, or far post I should say. To stretch his nose out a little bit further. Oh my days, Fairy Peak. Look at that patience. Not own goaling the ball and somehow getting a counter attack out of this. It's looking very sharp, his Fairy. And FlamE has managed to put 2 goals past the Frenchman already, but it's really looked like Fairy Peak has dictated the game thus far. Decides not to go for a demo here. Instead, the boost steal it is. We saw lots of this in the Fairy versus Scrub games that we reviewed on stream just the other day. The FlamE needs to take all of his chances this game. He's not going to get too many of them by the looks of things. Fairy Peak squashes this attack before it even gets started. Still 2 goals in it. And that's a really good nip in by FlamE. Fairy Peak playing a little bit cheeky in the back corner. Perhaps expecting FlamE to leave him alone. But FlamE is not interested in running away. He's going to stick around, pick up another goal. 3-4. And one kickoff could tie us up here. Flame's been looking reasonable on kickoffs. I'm impressed by the kickoff mechanics of FlamE, because I know he is a 3v3 player mainly, but I'm pretty sure he's just this highly ranked in ones. based purely on his mechanical skill. He's very quick, very good at shadowing, very good at flicking, very good at recovering. Couldn't quite make up his mind what to do there. He was trying to keep an eye on Fairy Peak, but even though he noticed Fairy Peak driving towards him, didn't calculate the distance very well. Fairy Peak picks up another relatively easy goal. And a nice dodge there by Fairy to secure boost down ball. Delayed dodge shot is also going to find the target. FlamE is looking really, really shaky against Fairy Peak's offense at the moment. Don't think he expected Fairy to pull the trigger that late with the dodge shot. I mean, from our perspective, we could see that that is exactly what Fairy was looking to do. It's much harder to see that from the defender's POV, though. Yeah, they did fix the spectator, I believe, in this update, Cobain Bryant. So, well, I mean, I've not noticed any spectator glitches so far, so big thanks to Psyonix for fixing that one. I personally am delighted to see a patch come out which is mainly focused on fixing the game, not crates. So, big kudos to Psyonix on that one. Ooh, FlamE might have been this one. It looked savable. Trying to wave dash the landing and chip it into the post, but a simple dodge might have done the trick. Of course, he wanted to get the fancy play, show off for the fans. Kickoff goal not going to function for FlamE. Still got just under half the game to try and bring this one back, but with how strong Fairy is looking in the midfield and in attack, I don't see FlamE bringing back this game one. Defensively, Fairy Peak's been a little bit shaky, but in the midfield and in offense, he has been really on point. I can't FlamE get another shot on net here. It will be difficult from this angle. Actually squashes it in the top corner. Fairy Peak again, shaky in defense. No respect for FlamE simply being here. He's anticipating FlamE backing down, and FlamE just doesn't do that. He sticks around yet again, longer than Fairy Peak anticipates, and he picks up a goal for it. Fairy Peak starting to rock the kickoff pretty hard though, and another miss from FlamE. He's stuck in his own net. Misplays after misplay on the kickoff from FlamE. Fairy Peak should have been able to put an unstoppable shot on net there. The fact that FlamE was given a chance to save it was not, I think, necessary for Fairy Peak. But FlamE is struggling on this on the recoveries after kickoffs. There's no doubt about that. Fairy Peak causing real problems here. Nice piece of defending there by Fairy, getting the ball to roll up the wall on his back wall. Of course, if it had bounced off into the middle, FlamE would have had an opportunity on net. Fairy Peak trying to trip up FlamE on the landing, delay 50-50s as well, just to make this as awkward as possible for the underdog. I think I might give FlamE at this point a single game in this series. I think Fairy Peak is going to run away with this in at least 2 out of 3 games, this being one of them, and probably squeeze a win in a third, and maybe FlamE, if he can, I think, just play more aggressively. One game, just rush more challenges, stop sitting in goal and waiting to see what Fairy's going to do, because Fairy knows exactly how to break down a shadowing defense, and we're seeing that in this game one. But if FlamE, you know, mixes it up, if he can just play a bit more aggressively in one of these games that follows up, he might be able to surprise Fairy Peak. Fairy Peak is looking so threatening every time he gets the ball at the edge of the box, though. It's bad news for FlamE. 6-9 and 43 seconds, or 47 seconds rather. Does give FlamE a chance, but with how badly kickoffs have been going for him in the latter half of this game, I just don't see it happening. We'll have to wait and see, though. Here comes another one. FlamE this time will pick up possession. Fairy Peak pressuring with no boost. Doesn't want to give FlamE any time on the ball, and Fairy Peak will come out with boost now. And the ball has been rolling around the field away from FlamE, away from Fairy Peak's goal, and there's valuable time being wasted. FlamE needs Fairy Peak to commit to an aerial here, and Fairy Peak does not. He waits on the ground as he should, and that is the 10th goal in game one. Comfortable stuff from Fairy in offense. He scored, I think, what's that, 67% of his shots nearly. FlamE with an even better shot to goal ratio, but I think that's courtesy of some pretty dodgy defending by Fairy. FlamE against a normal player might have been able to stop more shots with how well he's been doing with his goalkeeping.
I got Fairy winning this one. Good luck to FlamE.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more there. Buzz Laxier, thank you for the £15 to the prize pool. Fairy Peak, if he's listening to the stream, is just listening to that donation goal and thinking, or donation alert, and thinking, yes, give me that money. He's getting another opportunity here. That would have been a pinch, probably goal by Fairy at the end there. Flame was looking for the in and out save. Fairy is looking so good in offense. I mean, I hope that Speed gets to watch this series, because he wanted to know, how do you Flame's shadowing? I mean, Fairy Peak just showed us in one game. He just dismantled Flame's shadowing. 17 shots. Such great control in the midfield by Fairy Peak. He did not give the ball away very freely too often. Of course, once he ended up... Did I put 17? No, you guys tricked me. I thought I wrote 17 on the scoreboard or something. You know, Fairy Peak did show a little bit of disrespect to Flame in terms of, you know, playing it safe in defense. We didn't see too much of that from Fairy. He was giving Flame a few too many free shots for my liking. That's a clean whiff by Fairy. Flame should be able to put this one on target. Uncontested. Has he missed that off the post? No, he squeezed it in. 1-0 Flame. And a miss in offense by Fairy. That's something we didn't see much of in game one. And Flame is going to be delighted about that, because he was also up and also whiffing. But he did have more boost and a better recovery. And now he's got one kickoff to back him up. Look at that touch by Fairy, though, wasting so much time, allowing himself to pick up boost in the back corner and contest the ball. And now put some pressure on Flame's end of the field. This is really masterful stuff by Fairy on the kickoffs. Even if he loses, he steps in perfectly, gets the touch on the ball that he needs, so that he can follow up with a boost grab and more pressure. Able to exert much more pressure on Flame's kickoffs that he's winning than Flame's been able to exert on the kickoffs that Fairy's winning. That's some really nice goalkeeping by Flame to keep Fairy Peak at bay. He was looking for a quick goal there, was Fairy. Wanted to catch Flame a little bit off his goal line. The Flame, when you come at him at speed, is pretty good at calculating that speed and matching it with speed of his own. Now Flame shadowing, starting to look a little bit better. But notice the difference between game 1 and 2 is that both of those attacks by Fairy Peak were coming straight at Flame. Flame didn't really have to think about what angle the shot was going to come in at. He just had to make sure to be ready to catch it as it went over his head. It's happened twice in a row. Make that 3 times in a row. What has happened to Fairy Peak's offense? He's not got the same effective line of approach that he had in game 1. Might just be trying to change things up, but this is exactly what Flame needs. He's had 3 saves in a row on Fairy Peak's offense, and he counters with an excellent flick.
This is how I donate to him.
I mean, this is a pretty reliable way to donate to Fairy. Wait till he's 1v1ing somebody and then just throw money in. LSXGTO11, thanks for the $5. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream today. You know, with how good Flame is doing in this game, he might prove me right and actually threaten a win in this series. We've got a long time left. And we all know how good Fairy Peak is at adapting to his opponent, adapting mid-series to try and give himself a better chance of coming back.
Keep up the good work.
Flips by Flame are also looking clean, but not as clean as it could be.
I love you made this happen, Johnny. I love you.
Whoa, Milkman RL710, thank you for the 1,100, or rather just the 1,000 bits. Sorry, I don't know if I said the additional 100 at the end there. That's a great shot by Fairy Peak. Oh my days. What? Sparkle Pony with another 200? Is that just like filled up the goal? Jeez. You guys. Whenever you got Sparkle Pony and Vacanis in the same stream, this is a recipe for disaster. 420 something pounds in the prize pool. That's over $500, ladies and gentlemen. And as it stands, Fairy Peak has a slight advantage in the series. Flame the slight advantage in game 2. Not a good save there by Flame. He's recovered very well, though, to keep Fairy Peak at bay. He's going to threaten a shot. Fairy Peak knows this is coming. Flame is not able to put it on target this time. I'll inform the players after the game that there has been a prize pool increase. I'll let them keep their focus on this game for the time being. Flame another flick at the edge of the box. He's playing exactly the same game that we saw him play against Speed. The series which he was able to win. And fairly comfortably. Not incredibly comfortably, but comfortably. And you know, with Fairy Peak playing the same offensive style that did not work for Speed in that series, we're starting to see a real chance for Flame to win a game, maybe even threaten the series. We'll have to wait and see if Fairy Peak can go back to what he was doing in game 1. the zigzag dribbles, changing up his line of approach, actually threatening multiple angles instead of just barreling straight at FlamE and trying to brute force it. 'Cause we know that's exactly what FlamE wants Fairy Peak to do. He wants Fairy Peak to come right at him, and then he's going to try and hit the ball into the crossbar. I love that by FlamE though. He's changed up his defense and he gets a reward in the form of a goal. So Fairy Peak no doubt expected FlamE to sit back, because that's what he's been doing the entire time. And now we see the problem with Fairy Peak hitting the ball directly at FlamE's goal. FlamE has got a hard read on Fairy Peak right now, and he's seemed to fix his kickoff a little bit as well. 4-1, a much more low-scoring game. And FlamE... Oh, wow, what? What an own goal by FlamE. I was going to say, he's having so much more success with the goalkeeping in this game. And then we see this. Look at that. Triple touch by FlamE. Fantastic stuff. I would F1 that, but my GIF Your Game is not working at the moment since the new patch that's come in. It's a bit unfortunate by FlamE. Or for FlamE. Fairy Peak though is going to be delighted about that. And he's got another goal on the kickoff. Oh no, are we really going to start to see a Fairy Peak comeback that all started with a FlamE own goal, which was almost a great save, by the way. Almost a great save. All he needed to do was not triple touch the ball into his own net after getting the initial save on the boomer shot by Fairy. And here comes Fairy. Flicks it top corner with the loop around. Are you kidding me, Fairy Peak? The timing on this dodge is out of this world. FlamE had no chance. That is incredible. That's got to be the best wraparound flick I've ever seen in a show match. Fairy Peak got so much power on that one, and it looked absolutely deliberate. You know, there's been wraparounds that we've seen on stream before that look like complete accidents, where people just miss their flick and then the body of their car just loops around and gets the second touch. But that looked so deadly, and now Fairy Peak is popping off. Poor FlamE sitting in goal, and he has absolutely nothing to say about Fairy Peak's offense now. Pre-jump, not quite in the right direction. And that's a heartbreaker for FlamE. An absolute heartbreaker, all starting off with an own goal. He was in such control. 4-1 with a minute and something on the clock. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I'll tell you what, Fairy Peak's giving him a decent chance here though. FlamE fully boosted. He needs to try and outplay Fairy in the midfield. Yes, he does. The landing is not what it needed to be though, and Fairy Peak so good with that timing on the mid boost respawn. He's back up to 100, back in control. 30 seconds remaining, and it's most likely going to be Fairy Peak controlling every single one of those seconds. FlamE needs to do something, but he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to throw himself into a challenge because Fairy Peak will just flick him. He wants Fairy Peak to come at him. That is what Fairy Peak has done. Fairy Peak's still looking threatening though. Oh, unfortunate landing by FlamE, and Fairy Peak is going to control every single second of the final 30. Can FlamE get his hands on the ball at all? It doesn't look likely. Actually, he's done well. He's predicted Fairy Peak chipping the ball one more time.
If you knew which team Scrub Killer is going to be on for the next RLCS.
I actually don't, Lantern Coon. Thanks for 17 months in a row, by the way. Oh my days, Sparkle Pony not just donating, but also tier 3 subbing. Welcome back to the stream, my man. I appreciate that. I do have you already in my list, by the way. Yeah, I will. Right now. Stream are requesting BO7, by the way, because prize pool is over now. Alright, I'll let them know the prize pool's over $500. I don't know what it is exactly. Let's see. Alright, Fairy Peak is down. Yeah, it's $556 at the moment. Goodness me. Alright, so we're going to do best of 7, boys. Thanks for reminding me, though. Thanks for reminding me, Sparkle Pony. Because I was preoccupied remembering to save that replay. Did not want to forget to save that replay at all. Steve, thanks for the tier 1 2 month in a row. And I think I also missed another sub. Was it Aaron Segura? Thanks for the 4 month in a row. Welcome back. I think apart from those, I'm up to date on alerts. But if I did miss your one, please do tell me, because I want to shout you all out by name. You're all far too lovely. Into game 3 we go. That was the close game that I expected Fairy Peak to eke out. He is just good enough to win games that he has no business winning. Fairy Peak had to come back from 3 goals down. But as soon as he started scoring, there was no stopping him. FlamE tried his best, but he wasn't able to keep up the high level of defense that he was showing us earlier in the game. It's a really nice wave dash landing by FlamE. Squeezed himself underneath Fairy Peak there, and actually won the race to the boost. Will he be able to take it past Fairy in the midfield again? Long range air dribble. Strategy that we're not used to seeing so much these days. I think most high-level players bring it out as a surprise just when players are expecting the air dribble bump. The real air dribble comes in, and sometimes players aren't expecting it. I would be very surprised if an air dribble made it past Fairy Peak though. Even FlamE's air dribbles, which we've all seen in 3v3, can be fantastic. He's looking to dip into Fairy Peak with a bump, and he will. Fairy Peak gets bumped out of the way. You know, I said that I didn't expect an air dribble to make it past Fairy, but this one will make it past him because it's got the bump at the end. Look at that. In fact, FlamE might have had that past Fairy regardless of the bump, so that is so impressive. That is so impressive by FlamE. Rarely will you see Fairy Peak get outplayed by a straight-up air dribble. Oh, wow. The speed of the flick from Fairy to tie things up. Yeah, the second Johnny Jinx. The second Johnny Jinx. It's happened again. Oh, my days. Vacanis with another £100 donation. Are you serious?
Cause why not?
Oh, the scoreboard is wrong. My bad.
1v1 on Earth.
Do we have any mods in the chat right now? I don't know if we do. I've not spotted any. Because I've just been staring at this game. This is a really great series going on here. Yeah, thanks for telling me the score was wrong. It is 2-0 to Fairy. FlamE was controlling the majority of that game, but oh, wow, what a save by Fairy. Using his own crossbar to his assistance. I don't think I have any mods here. I'll just have to change the title myself. It's way over £500 now, thanks to another donation by Vacanis, the top donator of the stream all time. You see a fairly simple goal for Fairy Peak. But that doesn't make it a simple goal for a regular human being. The boost starve and the 50-50 are both perfection. And we do see another lead for Fairy. It's looking grim for FlamE. Is he going to get a better chance than he did last game? It doesn't look likely. Kickoffs are just going so badly now. He was doing much better in game 2 with his kickoffs, but game 3 has been just game 1 all over again. Fairy Peak is looking so good with his kickoff pressure. Oh my word, he's just dipped in another shot. Are you kidding me?
Thought you were trolling about NAR crowds at RLCS. You were 100% right. Hope every LAN is an EU from now on. Yes.
The lackey files. I was not kidding. EU, especially, well, it's pretty much the UK. If you do RLCS in the UK every single time, the crowd will just get better and better. Like, you won't be a UK crowd for a football-esque game. You just won't. We know how to celebrate ball games where you have to put the ball in a hole in the wall. I guess that would be indoor football, but you know, we're pretty good at just coming up with dumb chants and making a lot of noise. So in the last game we saw, Fairy Peak was able to come back from 4-1 down to take the game. Can FlamE do the same? He gets one very good goal, wave dash, and a flick over the top of Fairy. That was very clean from FlamE. Trying to remember to save all these games, because this is turning out to be a very good series, even though Fairy Peak is winning every single game so far. Oh, FlamE just getting a touch on the ball there before Fairy bumps him. You know, FlamE has been showing us some very interesting Rocket League. His style is quite interesting to watch. Such a focus on close to the ball car control in offense, shadowing in defense. Very recovery based and fast player. He can figure out how to deal with Fairy Peak's kickoff before this game is over. Does really have a chance to come back. Now, can he get the ball back on top of his car? Yes, he can. Okay, then maybe the goal is 5 times bigger. That flick would have made it in.
I subbed to. Nice.
Mini Sav, that's a year of subbing. Thank you so much. Welcome back. And I really appreciate that I'm the one you chose to sub to. That means a lot, man. Welcome back. That flick from FlamE. It was very powerful, but lacking in direction. It was just a little bit off. Now, there's a goal for FlamE. If he can find the open net, he's got to dodge into the ball, and he will. There it is. 3-4. Great pickup demo. And FlamE is making these games much closer than he did in game 1. But can he stay strong in the kickoff? What is he going to go for? Looks like he's going to try and push this one. And a push is working just wonderfully. Flick was not quite as good, but he's going to grab boost and the ball, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. Coming out with boost and ball in the following 15 seconds after a kickoff versus Fairy Peak. think most players will take that air roll shot into the crossbar from FlamE. Is he going to be able to recover it in time? It doesn't look like he will. Fairy Peak is going fairly fast, and he'll use FlamE to put it into the top corner. You know, Fairy Peak almost took too long to shoot this on. I'm surprised he didn't just drill it on that second last touch. I thought that the second last touch he made was going to be his last one. But we do see a 5-3 lead now for Fairy Peak. FlamE with a chance perhaps on this kickoff. Never mind, Fairy Peak deals with it yet again. Fairy Peak low boost at the moment, and he's not able to squeeze this one off the post and out. Will be FlamE getting a flight past Fairy again. Not his best one. Fairy Peak perhaps expecting the ball to go a bit more directly over his head, and the fact that it went straight forward might have caught him off guard. A very good good turnover by FlamE anyway. If nothing else, he got the shot earlier than Fairy Peak could grab boost and defend with. That's exactly what he needed to do. Good recoveries by FlamE. Can he continue to pressure now? He wants boost. He also wants the ball. He'll get the former. Will he get the latter? Fairy Peak is making it so difficult for him. And look at that wall shot by Fairy. You take his boost, but you can't take away his momentum. He always finds a way to get more power on the ball than you anticipate. FlamE was not even close to catching up to that one. What a play by Fairy. 6-4. 2-goal comeback required. It's looking like a sweep is on the cards. But, you know, I'm happy enough with my prediction. FlamE could have very much taken the game. So, you know, I think that was a fair prediction, even if it's not right. Fairy gets an accidental fake on FlamE. That'll make it 7-4. It looks like game 3 is over. The reverse sweep is needed now for FlamE if he wants to get anything at all out of this series. I mean, at this point, I think he would take a game, and who wouldn't against Fairy Peak? Possibly the best 1v1 series player on the planet. Don't remember who was the last person who beat Fairy Peak in a 1v1 series. I'm gonna have to go figure that out, because the streak that this guy's on is pretty ridiculous. It really is pretty ridiculous. I think the last time he lost might be in that 1v1 tournament that Floris won, because Fairy Peak made the final and lost to Floris. The previous 1v1 tournament that I ran was he lost to Devo, but he's had his revenge on Devo since then. He's had his revenge on Floris since his loss to Floris. Fairy Peak, I think, has had his revenge on everybody who's beaten him at some point. If anybody's beaten Fairy in a series on my stream more recently than Fairy Peak's beaten them, then please let me know. I don't know who they are. I don't know. Oh, no, well, I guess he kind of got his revenge on Cuxer in 12 Titans, didn't he? So he's not had his revenge. Fairy Peak's not had his revenge on Cuxer on my stream, but he did eliminate Cuxer from 12 Titans Year 2, which is a much larger prize pool than anything that's ever been on my stream. So he'll probably take that as adequate revenge. He's had the revenge against Jesse. Jesse's beaten Fairy. He got the revenge there. Oslan's beaten Fairy. Fairy Peak's gotten revenge there. Devo and Floris have beaten him. He's gotten revenge in both those matchups. Don't know if there's anybody that Fairy Peak hasn't had revenge against. FlamE struggling, but still standing strong in net. Really good first save, and the second one as well, but he's got no boost. Fairy Peak still looking threatening at the edge of the box. Good close down by FlamE. To come out with a goal from this back and forth is not easy to do. This is the best of 7. We already told the Melons it's the best of 7. Thank you, Snowmine, though. Gab, thanks for another 250 bits. Cuxer versus Fairy would be pretty cool. I would give it to Fairy Peak these days, personally.
Cuxer versus Fairy Peak. Cuxer versus Fairy Peak. Cuxer versus Fairy Peak.
Yes, yeah, Fairy got beaten by Scrub in 12 Titans, but he avenged it in a show match. So yeah, that's what I mean. I think Fairy has had the win against everybody in a big match more recently than they've beaten him, you know what I mean? Not 100% sure though. I'll have to go and check my archives. Wave dashes by FlamE looking just as clean as ever. I love the way he aligned himself there into the air dribble. This time Fairy will get the save though. You notice what FlamE did there is jumps off the wall with one of his jumps, obviously, and then he air rolled to correct his flight path before using his second jump to steady his car from falling, to get a little bit more elevation underneath the ball. Still, though, I think the air dribble is a bit of a risky strategy to be pulling out against Fairy Peak. If you're not going to go for an air dribble, oh, there we go. We had the deliberate, I believe, follow-through flick from FlamE earlier on this series. That was the accidental variation from FlamE. I can't imagine that was intentional. At times, though, FlamE has had FlamE's number in terms of speed. And again, he gets past the Frenchman. Very quick control and flick over the top. FlamE is still making it so hard for FlamE to do this. If it's not absolute perfection, then FlamE will take the ball. And FlamE has been doing pretty well. I don't know. Listen, if everybody who's asking about Scrub, I know everybody wants to know where Scrub's going. I don't even know. I've not asked him myself. I'm sure I could find out, but honestly, I don't really care for finding out roster swaps before they actually happen. It doesn't make me feel like a special little snowflake if I know about a roster change before it's made public. It just, you know, it's just the same for me. So, haven't asked anybody. So, yeah, I don't know. Not even pretending. Ixo versus FlamE or Scrub. Ixo's nuts right now. Ixo is in a bit of a tear as well. That's true. Maybe that is a show match for the future. Today we're just getting another display of why FlamE is the man to beat in a best of series. It says, whatever you could do to me, I could do better, FlamE. You can flick it over my head. Check this one out. Crossbar and a half year to rebound the ball in. All these dead ball kickoffs are so scary against the Batmobile. I always feel like the Batmobile has the edge if the ball doesn't move very far. Such a wide nose on this car. It's more likely, I feel, to get the last touch and just slightly win the challenge. Save the replay. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm on it. Just say use the F1 emote if you want me to remember to save replay. I'll save replay and GIF if people say F1. More snaking dribbles by FlamE. Got an open net as a reward and he will take it. FlamE had an awkward save. And he was able to get the save, but not much of a clear after the fact. More of a pass to FlamE. And it's looking desperate now for FlamE. He didn't go into this matchup with the greatest deal of confidence. I believe the first thing he said when he joined the party was calling it now 3-0 for FlamE. Well, he was right about that. It was only the fact that we increased the series to a best of 7 that's changed that fact from being the final score. But even when I messaged FlamE before this stream started, I asked him, does he want to play against FlamE? And he said he's down. But he also said he's probably going to lose. I think that mentality is definitely not going to help you against a player like FlamE. Believing that you've got a chance to win is probably a good thing. Oh, there's a good pass by FlamE. FlamE is not going to miss this one. That's a 2-goal miss from FlamE, which gives FlamE a chance to come back in the series. Kickoffs have got to go better than they have been in the earlier half of this game. Can FlamE take the ball under control? FlamE's no doubt got enough boost to chase after this. He always seems to have enough boost to get a touch on the ball after a kickoff that his opponent wins. FlamE going to knock a few seconds off the clock. Take a 3-goal lead. He wants to sweep, ladies and gentlemen. Not interested in giving FlamE any games in this series. Game 2 was the closest FlamE came, and there was that bizarre own goal that led to FlamE's comeback. But still, impressive stuff by FlamE to use that own goal and really propel himself into a winning position. FlamE with the air dribble bump attempt. FlamE somehow gets a touch into his post. I've got to say, I've never seen this level of variety from FlamE's Batmobile flicks. This is definitely the most impressive I've ever seen FlamE's flicks look in the Batmobile during a 1v1 series. It was definitely one of the best flickers in the Octane way back in the start of last year when he burst onto the scene. But since then, switched up to Batmobile, and it's taken a long time for his flicks to get up to that level again. And now they are really taking off and arcing in yet again. FlamE down by 4. He had to give up possession fairly quickly there, and he wanted an early challenge. He doesn't want to have to deal with FlamE's snake approach anymore, but FlamE just looped it over the top so casually. Beautiful stuff by FlamE. And again, looks so good on the kickoff. Flame's outmaneuvered him here a little bit, but you can see how difficult it is for FlamE to manufacture a shot because of how much pressure FlamE is exerting on the ball. Flip reset attempt by FlamE. Gonna fail, and it looks like he's not even gonna get the reward of best goal of the series, as obviously the follow-through flick by FlamE just takes the cake. Takes at least 3 kicks, I would say. Sharp versus Mektos. I've not seen any of Mektos recently. Since he played on my stream that one time, I've not seen him. He's played on my stream twice actually, but I've not seen him on anybody else's stream since then. Not sure if he's playing much Rocket League. Mektos, of course, is playing a lot of Rocket League, occupying the #1 spot as we speak, I believe. But no doubt Fairy Peak will be challenging that before the end of the season. For now, he'll take a sweep against FlamE. 4-0 it is. And GG's to FlamE. He did his best, but when you're against Fairy, sometimes your best just isn't enough. Looking forward to seeing these two match up against each other in RLCS next season. Oh, never mind, FlamE didn't make it. Don't tell him I said that. I'm just kidding. Now, I really hope FlamE does make it into RLCS. In all seriousness, I really hope FlamE does make it into RLCS. He was in there once before. Shh, don't tell him I was being toxic, okay? Don't tell him I was being toxic. He was the MVP of the promotion tournament that his team didn't qualify from, in my opinion. What have we got? 5-3-4-41 in the prize pool. Goodness me. Goodness me. That is a lot of money. You're going to write him. Yukio, don't write him. What's the split? Let me figure it out real quick. Over $100, I usually do prize pool minus $100 times 0.3 to second place. So yeah, that's what we'll do. What was it? 53534.41. Let me just calculate. We'll change that into dollars. Oh, we've just got around $700. That's a cool number. So $700 prize pool today. It's always so nice when I change it from pounds to dollars and it comes out in such a clean number. So this is how we split big prize pools. Just if anybody's not done this before, I've always done it like this. So we're just going to do it like we always did back in the day of big prize pools. You do total prize pool minus 100, which is 600, multiplied by 0.3. So 30% of the prize pool minus 100 is what second place gets, which is $180, and then the rest goes to Fairy, which is $520. Gonna make a note of that real quick, and there we go. 180 to FlamE for getting swept against Fairy Peak. Not a bad day's work. Not a bad day's work at all. Quick math: 520 and 180. That's a lot of money. That's one of the biggest prize pools we've ever had on stream, actually. I think we might have had two that were bigger than that. That might be the third biggest prize pool. Not 100% sure. Yeah, 520 Fairy, 180 FlamE. Send me your PayPals in Steam again, please. GG's. Can you challenge Big Fairy too? Yukio, you need to get practicing, mate. You need to practice first of all. Alright, thanks again to FlamE and Fairy Peak for putting on that great display. It was a really fun series to cast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. I'm going to leave them to their private 1v1. See what's going on in the main menu. Yep, the usual. Cool. I was hoping that the main menu would still be here. He wanted to know, how do you FlamE's shadowing? I mean, Fairy Peak just showed us in one game. He just dismantled FlamE's shadowing. 17 shots. Such great control in the midfield by Fairy Peak. He did not give the ball away very freely too often. Of course, once he ended up... Did I put 17? No, you guys tricked me. I thought I wrote 17 on the scoreboard or something. You know, Fairy Peak did show a little bit of disrespect to FlamE in terms of, you know, playing it safe in defense. We didn't see too much of that from Fairy. He was giving FlamE a few too many free shots for my liking. That's a clean whiff by Fairy. FlamE should be able to put this one on target. Uncontested. Has he missed that off the post? No, he squeezed it in. 1-0 FlamE. And a miss in offense by Fairy. That's something we didn't see much of in game one. And FlamE is going to be delighted about that because he was also up and also whiffing. But he did have more boost and a better recovery. And now he's got one kickoff to back him up. Look at that touch by Fairy though, wasting so much time, allowing himself to pick up boost in the back corner and contest the ball. And now put some pressure on FlamE's end of the field. This is really masterful stuff by Fairy on the kickoffs. Even if he loses, he steps in perfectly, gets the touch on the ball that he needs so that he can follow up with a boost grab and more pressure. Able to exert much more pressure on FlamE's kickoffs that he's winning than FlamE's been able to exert on the kickoffs that Fairy's winning. That's some really nice goalkeeping by FlamE. to keep Fairy Peak at bay. He was looking for a quick goal there, was Fairy. Wanted to catch FlamE a little bit off his goal line. The FlamE, when you come at him at speed, is pretty good at calculating that speed and matching it with speed of his own. Now FlamE shadowing, starting to look a little bit better. But notice the difference between game 1 and 2 is that both of those attacks by Fairy Peak were coming straight at FlamE. FlamE didn't really have to think about what angle the shot was going to come in at. He just had to make sure to be ready to catch it as it went over his head. It's happened twice in a row. Make that 3 times in a row. What has happened to Fairy Peak's offense? He's not got the same effective line of approach that he had in game 1. Might just be trying to change things up, but this is exactly what FlamE needs. He's had 3 saves in a row on Fairy Peak's offense, and he counters with an excellent flick.
This is how I donate to him.
I mean, this is a pretty reliable way to donate to Fairy. Wait till he's 1v1ing somebody and then just throw money in. LSXGTO11, thanks for the $5. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream today. You know, with how good FlamE is doing in this game, he might prove me right and actually threaten a win in this series. We've got a long time left. And we all know how good Fairy Peak is at adapting to his opponent, adapting mid-series to try and give himself a better chance of coming back.
Keep up the good work.
Flips by FlamE are also looking clean, but not as clean as it could be.
I love you made this happen, Johnny. I love you.
Whoa, Milkman RL710, thank you for the 1,100, or rather just the 1,000 bits. Sorry, I don't know if I said the additional 100 at the end there. That's a great shot by Fairy Peak. Oh my days. What? Sparkle Pony with another 200? Is that just like filled up the goal? Jeez. You guys. Whenever you got Sparkle Pony and Vacanis in the same stream, this is a recipe for disaster. 420 something pounds in the prize pool. That's over $500, ladies and gentlemen. And as it stands, Fairy Peak has a slight advantage in the series. FlamE the slight advantage in game 2. Not a good save there by FlamE. He's recovered very well though to keep Fairy Peak at bay. He's going to threaten a shot. Fairy Peak knows this is coming. FlamE is not able to put it on target this time. I'll inform the players after the game that there has been a prize pool increase. I'll let them keep their focus on this game for the time being. FlamE another flick at the edge of the box. He's playing exactly the same game that we saw him play against Speed. The series which he was able to win. And fairly comfortably. Not incredibly comfortably, but comfortably. And you know, with Fairy Peak playing the same offensive style that did not work for Speed in that series, we're starting to see a real chance for FlamE to win a game, maybe even threaten the series. We'll have to wait and see if Fairy Peak can go back to what he was doing in game 1. The zigzag dribbles, changing up his line of approach, actually threatening multiple angles instead of just barreling straight at FlamE and trying to brute force it. We know that's exactly what FlamE wants Fairy Peak to do. He wants Fairy Peak to come right at him, and then he's going to try and hit the ball into the crossbar. I love that by FlamE though. He's changed up his defense and he gets a reward in the form of a goal. So Fairy Peak no doubt expected FlamE to sit back, because that's what he's been doing the entire time. And now we see the problem with Fairy Peak hitting the ball directly at FlamE's goal. FlamE has got a hard read on Fairy Peak right now, and he's seemed to fix his kickoff a little bit as well. 4-1, a much more low-scoring game. And FlamE... Oh, wow, what? What an own goal by FlamE. I was going to say, he's having so much more success with the goalkeeping in this game. And then we see this. Look at that. Triple touch by FlamE. Fantastic stuff. I would F1 that, but my GIF Your Game is not working at the moment since the new patch that's come in. It's a bit unfortunate by FlamE. Or for FlamE. Fairy Peak though is going to be delighted about that, and he's got another goal on the kickoff. Oh no, are we really going to start to see a Fairy Peak comeback that all started with a FlamE own goal, which was almost a great save, by the way. Almost a great save. All he needed to do was not triple touch the ball into his own net after getting the initial save on the boomer shot by Fairy. And here comes Fairy, flicks it top corner with the loop around. Are you kidding me, Fairy Peak? The timing on this dodge is out of this world. FlamE had no chance. That is incredible. That's got to be the best wraparound flick I've ever seen in a show match. Fairy Peak got so much power on that one, and it looked absolutely deliberate. You know, there's been wraparounds that we've seen on stream before that look like complete accidents, where people just miss their flick and then the body of their car just loops around and gets the second touch. But that looked so deadly, and now Fairy Peak is popping off. Poor Flame sitting in goal, and he has absolutely nothing to say about Fairy Peak's offense now. Pre-jump, not quite in the right direction, and that's a heartbreaker for Flame. An absolute heartbreaker, all starting off with an own goal. He was in such control, 4-1, with a minute and something on the clock. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I'll tell you what, Fairy Peak's giving him a decent chance here though. Flame fully boosted. He needs to try and outplay Fairy in the midfield. Yes, he does. The landing is not what it needed to be though, and Fairy Peak so good with that timing on the mid boost respawn. He's back up to 100, back in control, 30 seconds remaining, and it's most likely going to be Fairy Peak controlling every single one of those seconds. Flame needs to do something, but he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to throw himself into a challenge because Fairy Peak will just flick him. He wants Fairy Peak to come at him. That is what Fairy Peak has done. Fairy Peak's still looking threatening though. Oh, unfortunate landing by Flame, and Fairy Peak is going to control every single second of the final 30. Can Flame get his hands on the ball at all? It doesn't look likely. Actually, he's done well. He's predicted Fairy Peak chipping the ball one more time.
If you knew which team Scrub Killer is going to be on for the next RLCS.
I actually don't, Lantern Coon. Thanks to 17 months in a row, by the way. Oh my days, Sparkle Pony not just donating, but also tier 3 subbing. Welcome back to the stream, my man. I appreciate that. I do have you already in my list, by the way. Yeah, I will. Right now. Stream are requesting BO7, by the way, because prize pool is over now. Alright, I'll let them know the prize pool's over $500. I don't know what it is exactly. Let's see. Alright, Fairy Peak is down. Yeah, it's $556 at the moment. Goodness me. Alright, so we're going to do best of 7, boys. Thanks for reminding me, though. Thanks for reminding me, Sparkle Pony. Because I was preoccupied remembering to save that replay. Did not want to forget to save that replay at all. Steve, thanks for the tier 1 2 month in a row. And I think I also missed another sub. Was it Aaron Segura? Thanks for the 4 month in a row. Welcome back. I think apart from those, I'm up to date on alerts. But if I did miss your one, please do tell me, because I want to shout you all out by name. You're all far too lovely. Into game 3 we go. That was the close game that I expected Fairy Peak to eke out. He is just good enough to win games that he has no business winning. Fairy Peak had to come back from 3 goals down. But as soon as he started scoring, there was no stopping him. Flame tried his best, but he wasn't able to keep up the high level of defense that he was showing us earlier in the game. It's a really nice wave dash landing by Flame. Squeezed himself underneath Fairy Peak there, and actually won the race to the boost. Will he be able to take it past Fairy in the midfield again? Long range air dribble. Strategy that we're not used to seeing so much these days. I think most high level players bring it out as a surprise just when players are expecting the air dribble bump. The real air dribble comes in, and sometimes players aren't expecting it. I would be very surprised if an air dribble made it past Fairy Peak though. Even Flame's air dribbles, which we've all seen in 3v3, can be fantastic. He's looking to dip into Fairy Peak with a bump, and he will. Fairy Peak gets bumped out of the way. You know, I said that I didn't expect an air dribble to make it past Fairy, but this one will make it past him because it's got the bump at the end. Look at that. In fact, Flame might have had that past Fairy regardless of the bump, so that is so impressive. That is so impressive by Flame. Rarely will you see Fairy Peak get outplayed by a straight up air dribble. Oh wow. The speed of the flick from Fairy to tie things up. Yeah, the second Johnny Jinx. It's happened again. Oh my days. Vacanis with another £100 donation. Are you serious?
Cause why not?
Oh, the scoreboard is wrong. My bad.
1v1 on Earth.
Do we have any mods in the chat right now? I don't know if we do. I've not spotted any. Because I've just been staring at this game. This is a really great series going on here. Yeah, thanks for telling me the score was wrong. It is 2-0 to Fairy. Flame was controlling the majority of that game, but oh, wow, what a save by Fairy, using his own crossbar to his assistance. I don't think I have any mods here. I'll just have to change the title myself. It's way over £500 now, thanks to another donation by Vacanis, the top donator of the stream all time. We'll see a fairly simple goal for Fairy Peak, but that doesn't make it a simple goal for a regular human being. The boost starve and the 50-50 are both perfection, and we do see another lead for Fairy. It's looking grim for Flame. Is he going to get a better chance than he did last game? It doesn't look likely. Kickoffs are just going so badly now. He was doing much better in game 2 with his kickoffs, but game 3 has been just game 1 all over again. Fairy Peak is looking so good with his kickoff pressure. Oh my word, he's just dipped in another shot. Are you kidding me?
Thought you were trolling about NAR crowds at RLCS. You were 100% right. Hope every LAN is an EU from now on.
Yes. The lackey files. I was not kidding. EU, especially, well, it's pretty much the UK. If you do RLCS in the UK every single time, the crowd will just get better and better. Like, you won't be a UK crowd for a football-esque game. You just won't. We know how to celebrate ball games where you have to put the ball in a hole in the wall. I guess that would be indoor football, but you know, we're pretty good at just coming up with dumb chants and making a lot of noise. So in the last game we saw, Fairy Peak was able to come back from 4-1 down to take the game. Can FlamE do the same? He gets one very good goal, wave dash, and a flick over the top of Fairy. That was very clean from FlamE. Trying to remember to save all these games, because this is turning out to be a very good series, even though Fairy Peak is winning every single game so far. Oh, FlamE just getting a touch on the ball there before Fairy bumps him. You know, FlamE has been showing us some very interesting Rocket League. His style is quite interesting to watch. Such a focus on close to the ball car control in offense, shadowing in defense. Very recovery based and fast player. He can figure out how to deal with Fairy Peak's kickoff before this game is over. Does really have a chance to come back. Now, can he get the ball back on top of his car? Yes, he can. Okay, then maybe the goal is 5 times bigger. That flick would have made it in.
I subbed to. Nice.
Mini Sav, that's a year of subbing. Thank you so much. Welcome back. And I really appreciate that I'm the one you chose to sub to. That means a lot, man. Welcome back. That flick from FlamE. It was very powerful, but lacking in direction. It was just a little bit off. Now, there's a goal for FlamE. If he can find the open net, he's got to dodge into the ball, and he will. There it is. 3-4. Great pickup demo. And FlamE is making these games much closer than he did in game 1. But can he stay strong in the kickoff? What is he going to go for? Looks like he's going to try and push this one. And a push is working just wonderfully. Flick was not quite as good, but he's going to grab boost and the ball, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. Coming out with boost and ball in the following 15 seconds after a kickoff versus Fairy Peak. I think most players will take that aerial shot into the crossbar from FlamE. Is he going to be able to recover it in time? It doesn't look like he will. Fairy Peak is going fairly fast, and he'll use FlamE to put it into the top corner. You know, Fairy Peak almost took too long to shoot this on. I'm surprised he didn't just drill it on that second last touch. I thought that the second last touch he made was going to be his last one. But we do see a 5-3 lead now for Fairy Peak. FlamE with a chance perhaps on this kickoff. Never mind, Fairy Peak deals with it yet again. Fairy Peak low boost at the moment, and he's not able to squeeze this one off the post and out. Will be FlamE getting a flick past Fairy again. Not his best one. Fairy Peak perhaps expecting the ball to go a bit more directly over his head, and the fact that it went straight forward might have caught him off guard. A very good good turnover by FlamE anyway. If nothing else, he got the shot earlier than Fairy Peak could grab boost and defend with. That's exactly what he needed to do. Good recoveries by FlamE. Can he continue to pressure now? He wants boost. He also wants the ball. He'll get the former. Will he get the latter? Fairy Peak is making it so difficult for him. And look at that wall shot by Fairy. You take his boost, but you can't take away his momentum. He always finds a way to get more power on the ball than you anticipate. FlamE was not even close to catching up to that one. What a play by Fairy. 6-4. 2-goal comeback required. It's looking like a sweep is on the cards. But, you know, I'm happy enough with my prediction. FlamE could have very much taken the game. So, you know, I think that was a fair prediction, even if it's not right. Fairy gets an accidental fake on FlamE. That'll make it 7-4. It looks like game 3 is over. The reverse sweep is needed now for FlamE if he wants to get anything at all out of this series. I mean, at this point, I think he would take a game, and who wouldn't against Fairy Peak. Possibly the best 1v1 series player on the planet. Don't remember who was the last person who beat Fairy Peak in a 1v1 series. I'm gonna have to go figure that out, because the streak that this guy's on is pretty ridiculous. It really is pretty ridiculous. I think the last time he lost might be in that 1v1 tournament that Floris won, because Fairy Peak made the final and lost to Floris. The previous 1v1 tournament that I ran was he lost to Devo, but he's had his revenge on Devo since then. He's had his revenge on Floris since his loss to Floris. Fairy Peak, I think, has had his revenge on everybody who's beaten him at some point. If anybody's beaten Fairy in a series on my stream more recently than Fairy Peak's beaten them, then please let me know. I don't know who they are. I don't know. Oh, no, well, I guess he kind of got his revenge on Cuxer in 12 Titans, didn't he? So he's not had his revenge. Fairy Peak's not had his revenge on Cuxer on my stream, but he did eliminate Cuxer from 12 Titans Year 2, which is a much larger prize pool than anything that's ever been on my stream. So he'll probably take that as adequate revenge. He's had the revenge against Jesse. Jesse's beaten Fairy. He got the revenge there. Ossalon's beaten Fairy. Fairy Peak's gotten revenge there. Devo and Floris have beaten him. He's gotten revenge in both those matchups. Don't know if there's anybody that Fairy Peak hasn't had revenge against. FlamE struggling, but still standing strong in net. Really good first save, and the second one as well, but he's got no boost. Fairy Peak still looking threatening at the edge of the box. Good close down by FlamE. To come out with a goal from this back and forth is not easy to do. This is the best of 7. We already told the Melons it's best of 7. Thank you, Snowmine, though. Gab, thanks for another 250 bits. Cuxer versus Fairy would be pretty cool. I would give it to Fairy Peak these days, personally.
Cuxer versus Fairy Peak. Cuxer versus Fairy Peak. Cuxer versus Fairy Peak.
Yes, yeah, Fairy got beaten by Scrub in 12 Titans, but he avenged it in a show match. So yeah, that's what I mean. I think Fairy has had the win against everybody in a big match more recently than they've beaten him, you know what I mean? Not 100% sure though. I'll have to go and check my archives. Wave dashes by FlamE looking just as clean as ever. I love the way he aligned himself there into the air dribble. This time Fairy will get the save though. You notice what FlamE did there is jumps off the wall with one of his jumps, obviously, and then he air rolled to correct his flight path before using his second jump to steady his car from falling, to get a little bit more elevation underneath the ball. Still, though, I think the air dribble is a bit of a risky strategy to be pulling out against Fairy Peak. If you're not going to go for an air dribble, oh, there we go. We had the deliberate, I believe, follow-through flick from Fairy earlier on this series. That was the accidental variation from FlamE. I can't imagine that was intentional. At times, though, FlamE has had Fairy's number in terms of speed. And again, he gets past the Frenchman. Very quick control and flick over the top. Fairy Peak is still making it so hard for FlamE to do this. If it's not absolute perfection, then Fairy Peak will take the ball. But FlamE has been doing pretty well. I don't know. Listen, if everybody who's asking about Scrub, I know everybody wants to know where Scrub's going. I don't even know. I've not asked him myself. I'm sure I could find out, but honestly, I don't really care for finding out roster swaps before they actually happen. It doesn't make me feel like a special little snowflake if I know about a roster change before it's made public. It just, you know, it's just the same for me. So, haven't asked anybody. So, yeah, I don't know. Not even pretending. Ixo versus Fairy or Scrub. Ixo's nuts right now. Ixo is in a bit of a tear as well. That's true. Maybe that is a show match for the future. Today we're just getting another display of why Fairy Peak is the man to beat in a best of series. It says, whatever you could do to me, I could do better, FlamE. You can flick it over my head. Check this one out. Crossbar and a half year to rebound the ball in. All these dead ball kickoffs are so scary against the Batmobile. I always feel like the Batmobile has the edge if the ball doesn't move very far. Such a wide nose on this car. It's more likely, I feel, to get the last touch and just slightly win the challenge. Save the replay. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm on it. Just say use the F1 emote if you want me to remember to save replay. I'll save replay and GIF if people say F1. More snaking dribbles by Fairy Peak. Got an open net as a reward and he will take it. FlamE had an awkward save and he was able to get the save, but not much of a clear after the fact. More of a pass to Fairy Peak. and it's looking desperate now for Flame. He didn't go into this matchup with the greatest deal of confidence. I believe the first thing he said when he joined the party was calling it now 3-0 for Fairy Peak. Well, he was right about that. It was only the fact that we increased the series to a best of 7 that's changed that fact from being the final score. But even when I messaged Flame before this stream started, I asked him, does he want to play against Fairy Peak, and he said he's down, but he also said he's probably going to lose. I think that mentality is definitely not going to help you against a player like Fairy Peak. Believing that you've got a chance to win is probably a good thing. Oh, there's a good pass by Fairy Peak. Flame is not going to miss this one. That's a 2-goal miss from Fairy, which gives Flame a chance to come back in the series. Kickoffs have got to go better than they have been in the earlier half of this game. Can Flame take the ball under control? Fairy Peak's no doubt got enough boost to chase after this. He always seems to have enough boost to get a touch on the ball after a kickoff that his opponent wins. Fairy Peak going to knock a few seconds off the clock, take a 3-goal lead. He wants to sweep, ladies and gentlemen. Not interested in giving Flame any games in this series. Game 2 was the closest Flame came, and there was that bizarre own goal that led to Fairy's comeback. But still, impressive stuff by Fairy to use that own goal and really propel himself into a winning position. Flame with the air dribble bump attempt. Fairy Peak somehow gets touched into his post. I've got to say, I've never seen this level of variety from Fairy Peak's Batmobile flicks. This is definitely the most impressive I've ever seen Fairy Peak's flicks look in the Batmobile during a 1v1 series. It was definitely one of the best flickers in the Octane way back in the start of last year when he burst onto the scene. And since then, switched up to Batmobile, and it's taken a long time for his flicks to get up to that level again. And now they are really taking off and arcing in yet again. Flame down by 4. He had to give up possession fairly quickly there, and he wanted an early challenge. He doesn't want to have to deal with Fairy Peak's snake approach anymore, but Fairy Peak's just looped it over the top so casually. Beautiful stuff by Fairy Peak. And again, looks so good on the kickoff. Flame's outmaneuvered him here a little bit, but you can see how difficult it is for Flame to manufacture a shot because of how much pressure Fairy Peak is exerting on the ball. Flip reset attempt by Flame. Gonna fail, and it looks like he's not even gonna get the reward of best goal of the series, as obviously the follow-through flick by Fairy just takes the cake. Takes at least 3 kicks, I would say. Sharp versus Mektos. I've not seen any of Mektos recently. Since he played on my stream that one time, I've not seen him. He's played on my stream twice actually, but I've not seen him on anybody else's stream since then. Not sure if he's playing much Rocket League. Mektos, of course, is playing a lot of Rocket League, occupying the #1 spot as we speak, I believe. But no doubt Fairy Peak will be challenging that before the end of the season. For now, he'll take a sweep against Flame. 4-0 it is. And GG's to Flame. He did his best, but when you're against Fairy, sometimes your best just isn't enough.